Hi, Stuart Sutton at Agent Finder. You know, sometimes a home doesn't sell. Everyone wonders what happened. It had everything going for it. Sometimes it's very subtle. Sometimes it's glaring, like it's way overpriced or it just was badly maintained. But sometimes it's hard to tell. Well, that's one of the reasons we're here to help identify those issues. I'm going to share some with you that are kind of subtle, but very impactful. I remember early in my real estate career, I just bought a new sedan. For me, it was a dream. It was a four-door sedan. It was beautiful. I'd never actually owned a four-door sedan because I went into real estate right after college. I'd always had two-door sporty type cars. Anyway, after a couple of years, I was so proud of that car, it really started running poorly. So I took it in, and the mechanic who specialized in the type of vehicle that was showed me on the engine block this teeny tiny little chip, and it was right in a spot that affected the intake. Those are the words he used. And he said it was very subtle. You could hardly tell it was there unless you really knew what you were looking for. But he fixed it, and the car ran like a top. It was smooth and beautiful. These are the type of little things you have to watch for in a home sale. And that's what I'm going to share with you right now. So this is a picture of a home that had a casita and a pool, and it had, well, seemingly everything going for it. But it hadn't sold after 137 days. I looked into this a little further, and I saw that another agent listed it, and it went under contract in 5 days. How is that possible? How could one agent have a home in the market for 137 days? That's what, 4.5 months? And then another agent sell that same home in just a few days, less than a week. What goes on behind the scenes that causes something like that to happen? Well, I'm going to cover 3 issues that I saw on this particular one. And every situation is a little different, but sometimes you start to see these patterns repeating themselves. One of the first things we're going to address is pricing. Well, we talked about that as being very obvious, very apparent when something is way overpriced, except that it wasn't in this case. It wasn't because it seemed to be in line with homes that had similar amenities, similar square footage, similar to finish. It seemed to be in line, with one exception. This house backed to a road. The road didn't carry a lot of traffic, but just enough that buyers expressed concern. When buyers express concern, really one of the few ways to fix that is price. So this home was priced to be equivalent with the other homes, even the ones in the neighborhood well away from the road. Now that price had to be adjusted accordingly. You see, a buyer with a savvy agent knows that if they pay the same for a home that has a devaluation issue, like a road behind it, then when they sell it, they're the ones who are going to be taking the devaluation. So that price had to be adjusted accordingly. And a lot of agents just don't catch that type of thing because this wasn't a big major highway. It was a modestly traveled road. But who are the important factors in a transaction? Well, the buyers and the sellers. And the buyers had a concern about that, so the price had to be dealt with. Another was how are other agents communicated with, how are buyers communicated with in the written process of marketing that property. Well, in one agent's write-up, it said you had to make an appointment to see the house. In the other agent's write-up, it said easy showing, just text the agent. Now, my guess, and I did confirm it, is that that required an appointment too, but the wording was much easier for an agent to follow and a much easier path, in their opinion, to get their buyer into the house than having to go through the hassle of getting an appointment. So just simple things like wording can mean a big difference in whether a home is shown in a competitive market. And here's another one that I have really preached about for so long, and that is target marketing. You've got to understand what the buyers see in certain homes and market for that. You've got to find the right buyers. When a seller says something like, it seems like the right buyers are looking at the home this time, then you know you're on track. I'm going to give you the most obvious example of this. Well, there may be other more obvious ones, but this one seems to happen over and over and over. And that's when a real estate agent tries to take a home that has 3 bedrooms plus a home office and call it a 4-bedroom. Well, you're not targeting buyers who want the house. You're targeting buyers who want 4 bedrooms. Then when they come over, they're looking at a house with 3 bedrooms and an office. Now, it may have a closet in it, which is a nice addition for a home office. But if it's at the entrance and it has French doors and you can see right through them, it's a home office. It's not a bedroom. I don't care what you call it. It's not a tomato type issue. It's a home office. So when buyers are coming over expecting 4 bedrooms because that's what they want, they're not seeing a home with a 4 bedroom. So you're not getting good qualified buyers into the home. If you market it as a 3 bedroom plus an office and buyers come knowing that's what they want, you've got better prospects. With this particular house, slightly different issue, it had a casita. If you look at the picture on the left, the owner used that casita as an office. And it's really hard to tell from the picture how much space is in that office. Because what do most people use a casita for? Typically as guest space. The second agent, who sold it in only a few days, used pictures with a bedroom set up in the casita. Actually had the owner move their office furniture into the house, into the designated office, and use this space as a guest space. Much easier to see how much space. Big bed, other furniture. It's a spacious little casita. And if buyers are looking for a spacious casita to put guests, and they come over to see the house, you've got better qualified buyers. I hope this makes sense. So we've covered 3 pretty minor things, but they add up to something very big. You're not targeting the right buyers. You haven't adjusted for the location. And the written communication needs to be perceived as convenient by real estate agents. There are lots of others. We'll cover them in other videos. I put a video up here right now that has to do with pricing. It goes into more detail on pricing because that actually is such a big issue. So take a look at that video. I hope you enjoyed this one. Go ahead and hit the like button if you did, and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos just like this one. Remember, at Agent Finder, we are real estate consultants. Our entire job is to make your sale smoother and more profitable.